So welcome. You've sent me some of the VODs already, which is good. So for today, I'm going to open up one of these VODs and we'll start to dissect what you need to improve. Have you had a chance to look over some of these games yourself yet?
Yes, I looked a bit over my own videos, and mostly I just got a bit dizzy. I saw some things that I possibly could have just done better, but none of it really dissected into me actually improving my own gameplay after.
So it looks like you got Swain. So it's 3 cost opener. You get the orb here. Oh, okay. So what you'll notice is, okay, so something bad happened here. Did you spot what it is?
No.
Okay. Did you think about holding any of these?
Initially, I tried to just hold as many shop units as I can, but obviously here I just didn't have the gold, so I didn't.
Ah, okay. So here is a useful piece of knowledge that's important, which is, there you notice that like some rounds you get gold, and some rounds you don't get gold, right? So the way you can know before a round will start if you're guaranteed gold or not. And I knew on 1-3 that you were guaranteed to get some gold. The reason, or the way that I know that is on this turn here. You notice you got 2 gold and you got 2 gold here, right, in units. So if you get 2 gold on 1-2, you're also guaranteed to get either 2 gold of some kind on 1-3 and 1-4. All right. The reason why I'm telling you that is because I really I want to hold the Gnar here, because otherwise you're decreasing the chance that you're going to have a good backline in this game, right? Like you kind of want to hold the Gnar. And so on this turn, you want to think about, do I want to hold the Gnar or not, and make that decision. And you can only really make that decision if you know you're going to get more gold. The other thing is because of the units you put on your board, and you were a little bit late to your orb, you had, I think, literally 0 seconds to decide if you wanted to sell the units for what's in your shop or not, right? Which is also bad, because, well, let me put it this way. The game is really snowbally. If you have a better board early, you're going to do much better than if your board is even a little bit weaker, because being the very strongest person in the lobby has a lot of payoffs, and being second strongest is way, way worse than being first strongest, right? So, what galaxy is this again? That's actually important. It's 3 cost opener, yeah, okay. So, here, you don't want to be in a situation where you are losing units that you would want to buy, right? That would be bad. So we want to do a few things to avoid that. The big thing I would do to avoid that in this situation is you have to put more damage on your board. Because if you put Garen Swain on your board, you will kill the creeps last, and then you will have less time to make your decision, which is really bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally.
So you want to put more damage. You want to at least put like Garen Sivir, or you want to put Gnar Sivir on the board, is what you want to do. Does that make sense? Because those units will kill them faster.
Yeah, you just want to kill the creeps ASAP so you have more time to just make a decision.
Yes, if you do that every game, you will be much, much more able to make stronger openers, because you can hold the units that you really want and really make your like, you can leverage how good you are at making opener boards because you actually have the time to be able to do it. All right, so that would be a good thing to do here.
I occasionally do it, but just not consistently, because often when I just have like 2 backliners, I just put them in the front and it just kills everything pretty quickly, but there's just no consistency.
Yeah. All right, you have 3 crystal here. All right, so you have 3 crystal, right? did you?
I did not play it.
That's not what I was gonna ask. So,
Mm.
what's your thought process for how you hold units on this round?
For this game specifically, I thought, well, I've got a decent amount of Bastion, so I was gonna aim to just have a Bastion lineup, probably with just the Yasuo and maybe later with some legendaries on the board. That's just kind of the plan I had for myself. This entire game was just a dizzy fest for myself. I just kind of lost track of what I really wanted to do later on, but my initial thought was, cool, I'll just play 6 Bastion down the line and then decide whatever I use for a carry.
Do you tend to play a wide variety of comps, or do you play like only a small number of comps most of the time?
Probably wider for my own good. I think I should just make it a bit smaller, but sometimes I just see what I have early and I try to play around that, which isn't always the best decision, but that's why we're here, to make sure that I make those decisions better.
Yeah, that's fine here. So, what I will say is, from your spot is okay. My concern would be, and this is what I think is maybe being missed just a little bit, is you want to give yourself the greatest chance to have the opportunity to win if the situation presents itself. And so, alongside holding Crystal, you'd probably want to hold the units that give you the best chance of being able to win early, right? Because, like, why are you holding units in the early game, anyways? I think
Hmm.
here it's fine. If you see your components and you see the Bastions, and you say, I'm going to hard force Yasuo, I'm pretty sure that game plan is fine, at least for now, okay? But you just have to be aware that that is your game plan, okay?
Yep.
So that's fine for now. Um, yeah. All right. So how do you pick the augment that you want to? How do you decide? How do you choose between these augments?
Um, but for myself, I didn't go Kingslayer because I felt like my spot was still too weak
What do you mean you felt
to
your
really
spot
use.
was too weak?
Um, but typically when I pick Kingslayer, actually, Jesus, what did I think? It's great. I misread the augment for a second. Sorry.
No
I
worries.
typically just don't pick augments like Kingslayer because I feel like I never utilize them well, so I often just skip them. And I think my first thought here was just right. Just want to
What's
attempt to
your
optimize.
okay? What's your best thought on how you would utilize this, just as like an understanding thing? Because I think like a reasonable understanding of like augments like these, especially when they're powerful, is a good thing
Mhm.
to have in your arsenal. What's your understanding of when or how to use this?
Typically, I would just say I just go on a loss streak and then just get a strong enough board to just utilize the augment more to just get more gold.
Cool. Yeah, you want to go on a loss streak, a real loss
Hmm.
streak, because you need to have enough gold to spend it to make a board that can win to get you more gold, right? If
Hmm.
you do that, you're in a good spot. If you break your loss streak, then you're very sad, because the loss streak itself gives you quite a bit of gold here. But yeah, so that's how you would use this. If you're playing to like gain LP and you know you're not good at it, that's fine. To skip this is okay. I don't mind it. So you would roll that away. Okay, sure. So we took Pandora's here. What is the purpose? So yeah, you take Pandora's here. Honestly, I think taking Pandora's here is fine. Um, and your plan is to play this. You leveled. All right. Here is the first thing I'll say about that. Why do you level here?
Um,
Or
I
or
felt like my
I'll
yeah,
clarify
go on.
this way. What are you looking to accomplish with your level?
To be just stronger and hoping to win. Because obviously I've only had frontline units and clearly I couldn't win with that, so I thought eye level, just put a backliner in and see how the rounds go.
Okay, so you want to win, right? That's your goal. Looking at your board, do you think you are capable of winning?
The odds are definitely slimmer, so no. It was
Okay.
just, I feel like a last second, I thought like, hey, I just need something that does DPS in and just see how the rounds go.
Okay, so there's a few things to say about that. The first thing is there's two important things. There's two rules here. The first thing is you are a little bit off in how you're looking at your board because you didn't level for a Jin. And what I mean by that is even though Jin was the 4th unit you put in, Jin is not the fourth best unit on your board. Jin is like the 2nd or the 3rd best unit on your board. What you actually leveled for is you leveled to put in a Garen 1. Because your board is supposed to be Jin, it's supposed to be Jin, Swain, and Shen is what it's supposed to be. Does that make sense?
Clearly the Shen is stronger than both Rao and Garen, and then you'd have the strongest board, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that's what your board is supposed to be here. So if you look at it that way, it becomes a little bit less enticing to level for the Garen 1, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is it seems like there's a desire to make your board a little bit stronger, right?
Yes.
Is there a downside? So like the upside is you can get a little bit stronger. Can you visualize in your head what the downside is? Or do you understand what the downside
is? Too
is?
weak? Mm-hmm. Yes, if my board's still weaker compared to the others, I basically just definitely lost a lot of tempo and just gold on leveling for practically nothing.
It's not just leveling for... Okay, so yeah, you level for nothing. What does the leveling cost you?
Gold.
Cost you gold, yeah.
Yes.
It costs you... So in the early game, this is the other thing. Your job in the early game is to try to acquire... This is like a strategy game about resource management, right? You're trying to acquire 2 resources. You're trying to acquire gold and you're trying to acquire HP, right? And especially in the early game, you want to acquire those 2 things. Gold being especially valuable, right? So when you are leveling here, your reason for leveling should actually almost always be you have a good chance of acquiring more gold than not leveling, or at least the amount of HP that you gain is worth the gold you potentially lose. Does that make sense? Because if you the case where you gain more gold is if you win 2-1 and 2-2. If you win 2-1 and 2-2, you get 2 gold for winning each of the round, or winning the 2 rounds, right? And you get another gold for getting a 2 streak on 2-2, right? So you make 3 gold, right? That's 3 gold in our pockets. If you win, then you lose. You only get 1 gold, right? And if you lose, then you lose. You also get 1 gold. And if you lose and you win, you get 1 gold, right? So there's one combination that gives us 3 gold here. That's the combination we want. If you don't see yourself with a reasonable chance of getting that combination, it's not worth leveling here. It's not worth leveling here. The other thing I'll say is that the amount of here, I'll tell you the gold that you're giving up. The gold that you give up is you basically give up guaranteed gold on 2-2, or you give up making you usually give up the gold that you would make on 2-2, because this turn you're not making 10, right? But next turn you probably should be making 10, unless your board is like rather expensive, which in this case it actually kind of is. But you should usually be able to make 10 anyways in the next turn. So those are your options here. You either don't level and you try to make the guaranteed 1 gold from your streaking, right? Like you are guaranteed to either win, lose, win, or lose, right? That's all the combinations that are possible, right? So you're guaranteed 1 gold from streak or winning, and then if you don't level, you acquire 1 more gold guaranteed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's the decision that's being made here. Do I want to go for the guaranteed 1+1, or do I want to risk away that 1 gold to try to win 2 rounds and get 2 gold here? That's how I would think through it. Make sense? I will say
that makes complete sense.
The downside, so like the worst thing that you can have happen, like I think the no level into lose is like a little bit below like a 4 out of 10 option here, but level into lose or level into lose is like, yeah, that one's like a 1 out of 10 option or 1 out of 10 result. So you don't want that to happen. I think also the level into win-lose or lose-win are both worse than no level and lose-lose. Make sense? Keep in mind that these are all things that are going to be probabilistic, right? So like depending on who you'll face, you're never really guaranteed to get the 2 win, but you need your chances to at least be good. I have found that the chances are at least good when I have an upgraded unit with an item on it that I will also fruit. So if you had Rel 2 here with an item, you would fruit it, and then you would also then you would level, and then you would play your best board there. I would be reasonably happy doing that. Does that make sense? That's like kind of my minimum threshold for leveling. You need an upgraded unit.
I guess you just utilized whatever strongest unit you have at the time.
Yeah, exactly. In my the last game I played, I had 2 upgrades and 2 items. I leveled and I still got win-lose. And in reviewing it, I was likely to win-lose. There were a lot of people that were stronger than me, which resulted in my game being very hard. So the safe thing you can do, if you find yourself like struggling with these decisions, or like you notice that you make these mistakes a lot, you should heavily default to just not leveling on 2-1, and then gradually learning the situations where you're like, wow, my board's really good, I'm going to level here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You really don't want to be, I'm going to level, and then like slowly identify the spots where you shouldn't have leveled. Because it's way, way better to go from the other side and work your way forwards than to start by usually leveling and then work your way backwards. You'll have this will be a lot more painful. Make sense?
Yes, no, definitely. I think I just opt into leveling just a bit too hasty sometimes without any proper thought, like you just explained. So putting some more thought behind it would just be better.
Yeah. Here, what did we spend so much time on? All right, here we have 10 seconds. 2 snipers should go on the board. The higher cost bastion should go on the board. That like would be better here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you would usually catch this or no?
I think the issue, because obviously now when you say it, it's like it just makes so much more sense, but in the game itself, I've probably just set my mind on what I want to play, and I just kind of don't see the other opportunities that just lay there to just make the transition to that more easygoing.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. So this is a pretty common mistake where people like kind of only focus on what their end board is going to be. So I would say here that the thought process should be, I have an idea of what I'm going to play, right? It doesn't have to be rigid, but it always starts, and you said you play kind of wide, right? You play kind of like some more comps, right? So if that's the case, what you should try to do is you should try to make your board strong first, and then use that to dictate what you're going to do. Does that make sense? So
no, definitely. Just play a bit more flexible, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So and even if you already have your mindset on what you're going to play, still make your best board, because you don't need all these units yet. And even if you do, like they're literally free. Like you can hold these and you can make a stronger board on the board. You always look in the early game, what's the strongest board I can make? Rule number 2. let me ask you this. What is a shop worth to you? Like the units in one
If I
shop.
hit good a lot,
Mhm.
but
On average.
But no, haven't really put that specific kind of thought behind it.
Sure.
So
What's the gold
shop is
value
just
of
a
a
shop.
shop? What's the gold value of a shop?
You mean the current shop or just in general?
Any shop, like just to see a shop, pretty much. It's not a trick question.
No, it's just I guess just 2 gold.
All right,
right?
it's 2 gold, right? It's 2 gold. All right.
Yeah.
Every time you don't hold a unit in the shop when it was free, you're losing gold. All right. So here, I think we lose literally 2 gold of value from not holding Silver Pair here. We have a Silver Pair, we have the gold to hold it, and we didn't hold it. So you're losing gold. No losing gold. All right. If you can get gold for free, we take the gold for free. That's all. That's your entire job in the early game, right? Get gold for free. Or like try to generate gold in your game.
Yeah.
So here we missed Silver 2, and then we could have actually had a decent board here. And here, we still don't hold the Silver. I mean, like, you hold the other stuff, but why do we hate Silver? Silver's pretty cool. Silver is actually like not even a weak unit anymore.
Yes, I think I still just had the mindset of just Sivir just not being the greatest, and just unless I play crew, I guess I just skip over Sivir.
Yeah. So here you actually adjust your board a little bit. So here, this is a little bit mentally taxing, I will say, but you gotta use your brain when you play the game. We agree on that one, right? So if given that that's the case, every turn you need to ask yourself, what is the weakest unit on my board, right? And can I replace it with anything? So if at any point you did that a single time in the first 3 rounds, you would have figured out that I should play a sniper on the board with my Jhin, right? Like the weakest unit here is clearly the Garen on this turn, and this turn, right? And then you could have played a sniper for your Jhin in any of these rounds. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right. As a general guideline, you can basically take it as gospel that you have to make 10 gold on this turn, okay? You're basically required. So if I tell you you're basically required to make 10 gold here, what would you do?
Just now I know I didn't because I have a Swain pair, but there's just a couple of things just go through my mind. Either I just sell the Swain, considering I can get him back later, and I guess I would just apply the same logic with the Shens, which is horrible because they're pairs, and otherwise it would just be selling the Garen and the Zaya. I think I opted for the Garen and the Zaya, but I'm not sure anymore. I think I was just in a bit of a shitty spot because I had so many pairs.
Yeah, selling. So in order to get a good answer to that question, you need to figure out what you want to play on level 5, right? What would you play on level 5 given what you currently have?
I would just drop the Shen in to just have the 4 Bastion and just have a backliner.
Sure, that's fine, yeah. So, you want to play 4 Bastion, right? We also both agree that Gnar 2 is better than... Well, okay, it's actually not so obvious, but like, do you think Gnar 2 is better than Zaya 1?
I think I actually played the Zaya. I'm not sure because I think my train of thought was alright. I'll have the Shen and the Rel for Star Guardian Edgelord, and I felt like that would be stronger than a Gnar. If I'm correct. I know I do it at some point.
Did you think of that in the game?
Yes.
Okay. I actually agree with you. I'm pretty sure that's better right now. You play Shen over Garen, you play Zaya over Gnar, then you just sell the Gnar and you can just hold everything that you want. What do you think about that one?
Sorry, could you repeat that for a second? I just zoned out for a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. You can actually play the Zaya on the board right now and make a better board, I think, because you play the Zaya, activate Star Guardian, and then you play the Shen over the Garen. That'll be pretty good. I like that.
That would have been much better. Yes.
Yeah, and then you can just sell the Nar too because you won't need it, and then play 4 Bastions on the next level, and your board is good. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So, cool. So you should have done that. But if you don't do that, you have to make gold somehow. Okay. So if you don't do that on this turn, and you didn't think Zaya was stronger, which is fine, right? If you thought Zaya was weaker than Nar, you sell Zaya and sell one of the pairs. Which pair is worse? Garen, Shen. What's the weakest pair? Garen, Shen, or Swain?
Clearly Garen.
Sure, then you would sell the Garen. If you thought Zaya was better, then you just sell the Nar right now.
And I think I didn't have much choices here anyway, so I just thought, well, just get chain for the Swain, or eventually maybe an Edge of Night later.
The other rule is basically that on this turn, you have to make 20 gold. That's the other rule. On 2-6, you have to make 20 gold. Now, those kind of go hand in hand, because you'll notice you are actually high rolling because you won the first 4 rounds, right?
To
be fair, your board's a little bit expensive, but even if you lose this round, which you did, if you had the 1 more gold from 2-3 by making 10 gold, you could sell the Shen pair here. You could sell the Shen pair here and still make 20, right? And then your eco will be okay. Make sense?
Yes, that makes.
We could
sense,
follow
actually.
the rule here, but like without the 1 gold from before, it's kind of hard to follow. It's kind of hard to meet that rule. Consequently, I think you also need to make 30 gold here, I think. Especially if you make 30 gold. You sell the Zaya pair. How did you figure out that Zaya was the better sell compared to Garen?
Just considering I'd still play mostly the Bastion front line, and I'd replace the Zaya. Sooner or later, I decided to just sell the Zaya pair instead of the Garen, which, that was just my train of thought at the time.
Sorry, so what's the reason?
I was gonna replace Zaya sooner or later anyway, so and.
When are you gonna replace Zaya? When you find 1 Yasuo?
Yes.
When do you think is the average time you find a Yasuo?
Much later technically in the game. It's just whether I high roll or not. Which
yeah, but it's the average,
I didn't
right?
think that.
What's the average? I think the average is like, if I were to guess, maybe around 3, because at some point you're gonna roll, right?
4 maybe.
When you roll, you're likely to hit it, right? But
yeah,
before you roll, you're pretty unlikely to hit it because you see you see a level 5 shop, a level 6 shop, a level 6 shop, a level 6 shop, and then a level 6 shop, right? Because you're not getting to level 7 here, right? Anytime soon. So you probably only see it on a 4-1 a lot of the time. And the reason why that matters is because you want to figure out, all right, what do I want to have the better odds of finding? Do I want to have better odds of finding Garen 2? Or the better odds of finding Zaya 2? And for me, because you already have what your main damage source is Zaya, so you should prioritize holding the Zaya, is what I'll say. Make sense?
Yeah, just technically the Bastion is already there. The Swain is strong enough, so maybe not focusing on the Garen. That was just a bad decision.
Yeah. This is fine. Why did you slam? Why is the chain on the Zai or on the? I mean, you're not gonna lose this round, so I guess this is fine. You win this one too. Okay. Did I miss something here?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, no, it's all good. All right. What item are... So here's what I'll say. In general, you don't want to have 5 items on the bench, right? And the reason why is because if you the more I'll put it this way, the more items you have on your bench on average, the lower your LP. It's that simple, all right? There's a few connections there, but it's basically that simple. The more items on your bench on average, the less LP you have, okay? So we want to have more LP, right? So
yes.
And by bench, like unused components count as the bench, okay? So what items? Yeah. So that means you want to make items, right? What then? In order to make items, you need to know what items you want to make. What items do you want to make here?
I think that was a bit of the roller coaster that I said earlier with this game, that I pre-made items a bit later and it just became kind of a shit show. But I could have definitely made a DB here just to make volley a bit stronger. And
what's your plan on what you want to play?
I think eventually, because the game was going pretty well, and this is the biggest mistake, because I kind of wanted to just play the 6 Bastion with just some legendaries, but I had no real proper econ augments to actually pull that off, so I forced technically a fast 9 comp without the right conditions. So
right here you forced fast 9?
Mm-hmm.
So at what point did your plan change? At what point did your plan change?
The game was going pretty well for me. Like, I had mostly win streaks, and I think I only lost 1 or 2 fights, so my HP was just looking very good. So I guess I just got greedy, or maybe just a bit too confident. Like, hey, I can probably pull off going to 9, which eventually didn't happen. I think that's when it changed. I was like, cool, I'll just try to itemize and just build some items for those carries once we get there. I think that was just how
cool.
my train of thought was at the time.
All right, so okay, so my explanation for why that's a bad idea is the following. Fast 9, you basically should not fast 9 ever, I think. The reason why is because fast 9 requires you to be very good at evaluating if you can fast 9, and if you make a mistake even a little bit on evaluating if you can fast 9 or not, like if you decide you're gonna fast 9 when you can't, you instantly lose 10 placements. Maybe not 10. You probably instantly lose 3 placements on average. So because that's a really big mistake, because that's really punishing, right? And because it's also hard to identify, you're betting on making a decision correctly that is both punishing and hard to make, right? And in any strategy game, especially when you're trying to improve at it, those are like not the kind of decisions you want to make, right? You don't want to make the decisions that are both punishing and difficult, because if you mess, you'll both mess it up a lot, and get punished a lot for doing it, right? So that one seems not good to me, right? So given that doesn't seem very good to me, I would avoid trying to make that kind of decision here. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
No,
cool.
no, definitely.
Here, if you can't fast 9, understanding that, what would you do?
Just most likely make a BT on volley, and if I can't fast 9, I'll probably just look for a bastion with jinx and volley, and play for that, because then I would be in a pretty decent spot.
Did you come up with that comp, or like where do you? Why are you playing back? Like, is that a good comp? You think?
A while ago, I've seen it about here and there, and I've played it, and it just went pretty okay. So that's just the first thought that came to my mind.
All right, sure, that's fine. Bastion volley, jinx volley, cool with me, good enough. Given that that's what you're going to do, right?
Clearly, I didn't do that here, but that's just the thought that I had now to answer the question.
Sure, okay, that's fine. If you do that, that's actually in the grand, like, that's on the scale of 1 to 10, right? The fast 9 plan from this spot is like a 1, right? And that plan, probably like a 4. But a 4 in a lot of ELOs is good enough, right? So that one's okay. The way that you would improve that kind of decision making, which is hard and should not be your first priority, is you basically should have a list of what you think the 5 best comps in the game are, and then you just pick whatever's closest to the spot you actually have. So from here, I would pick what I think is the best overall comp in the game, which is Star Guardians, and I would just play Star Guardians. Because in this spot, you just play the best comp, right? Because you can, right? You have Pandora's, you can make the items that you want, right? You have a Poppy already, you have a Rel 2, you have you have the ability to make 80 items, you have a good holder for the items. You can pretty comfortably play that comp from here. Does that make sense? So
it does, yes. And me trying to identify those opportunities is really what I just want to improve on, because I feel like at a certain point I just autopilot too much, and then the game just becomes a shit show.
Yeah, that's fair. The mistake that you are probably making is you are picking, and this is actually like this is a hard mistake to figure out, but an easy one to fix, which is you are using what units you actually have right now and sticking too closely to that. Like, you're picking the closest comp to your current board, right? At any point, right? That's not what you want to do. You want to pick the best comp from a list that you can feasibly play. That's it.
Yeah.
Make sense?
No, it does. Yes.
Cool. So what's your
very
list?
Different perspective now.
Yeah. The perspective is completely different, right? You don't start from I have 4 bastions. I'm gonna play 6 bastions, right? You start from you start from the list of the 5 best comps. What are you gonna play? What do you think are the 5 best comps? Because I could give you an answer, but like you can't always like your what you do will always be based on what your understanding is, right? And honest to God, go to twitch.tv, right? Go to twitch.tv, and then you go to the TFT section, right? You go to Teamfight Tactics. Go to any language you speak, probably English, right? You probably speak English. And then
English.
And then you go viewers low to high, right? And then you try to see. Actually, okay, maybe you don't want to do that one. Okay, you do recommend it for you, and you would see. All right, who's the highest ranked player who doesn't have very many viewers, right? Who would that be? You know what? Kardak stream looks fine, right? Kardak stream is fine. Bloody stream looks fine. Appy stream is fine. Or you can just like follow people who are like challenger, right? And then when they're live, they don't have very many viewers. You can just go into their chat. You can just go into their chat, and you can ask what you think the best 5 comps are, right? And whatever they pick is probably going to be better than what is probably going to be better than what you then then what you can figure out right away, right?
Mhm.
That's like actually a pretty good source of figuring out what's good. You just ask and it's good enough, right? So,
Yeah.
what do you think right now are the best 5 comps? Do you have any idea what they are?
The Viego reroll, of
Sure.
course. Star Guardian.
Okay.
The Darius comp with Fusion Dance.
Okay.
And then it would just be Karma Sork, so just vertical mech.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be 5, I guess.
Oh, you think mech is the 5th one? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All right. Good enough.
And I guess, I mean, if we just divide those to 4, I guess you could just add the Bastion Yasuo with the Smolder in.
Sure. How the heck do you get the Smolder in on the Bastion Yasuo comp?
I've just seen it so often, just not sure if that's correct, but I've just often seen the Bastion with the Yasuo and then the Smolder too. Could be completely wrong.
You would think they roll on level 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you fit Yasuo and Smolder and 6 Bastions? Or would you not play 6 Bastions?
I guess you'll just have to greed a bit on 7 and just go 8 and then be able to play it.
When you say, what do you mean by greed a bit on 7? Like you would have just one of the Bastions on your bench?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then maybe just sack some HP, hoping that you hit, and then just level and go from there.
You know what? That's a fine idea. That's fine. All right, sure. The main answer is you have a Bastion spat, because then you can actually fit everything on 7. But that's fine as it is. Okay.
Of course, if you have a spat, then it's much easier.
So do you give me the comps in the order that you think they're good? Like Viego's the best comp, then Star Guardians, then Fusion Dance Darius, then Karma Sorks, then Mech, then Bastion Yasuo.
From the top of my head, I'll just say yes.
Sure, okay. So
yeah.
what comp do you have? So look at your items, right? Your items are an AD Shred item, and then Sunfire, and then Spirit. All right, that's pretty cool. What's the best comp that you can play? Can you play Viego reroll here? No. Can you play Star Guardians here? Yeah, you probably can, right? So from here, your goal, you're just gonna play Star Guardians. That's it. That's your whole game plan. All right. You look at the top of the list. You go down. Can I play this? Yeah, sure. If is the case that like there are things that are close on the list, and you look around and there's like 3 Star Guardian players, then you can be like, I might play something else here, right? But if not, just play Star Guardians anyways. Not a problem. It's actually like it is probably just better to play Star Guardians, which is a good comp, than to mistakenly pick something else and then like not, and then just have it not go super well. If you want to know what my best 5 comps are, I would give a slightly different list. All right, here's my list. My list is Star Guardians, and then after that is actually it's number okay, excluding all hero augments. It would be Star Guardians 1, and then let me just take a look at some of these units. Yeah, probably like Viego reroll, I guess, and then like Smolder Darius. Yeah, Smolder Darius, and then number 4 is like either Sorks or Mentor Mech, and then the other one is Sorks, I guess. I think those are like the best kind of not really conditional comps, I would say. They do obviously all kind of have conditions. They all have some conditions, but this is what I would use. Also, if you like use TFT Academy, you can like just go to TFT Academy and like you'll have the list from there. All right, like that. This list is fine to work with.
Of course, yeah.
Which is like pretty similar to what I actually have, right? So like you have Mech, you have Viego, Star Guardians, Fusion Darius, Mech, Crystal Gambit, Kale, Crew, that thing, and they have these comps here. But like these are all to some extent more conditional.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, but that's just my list. So you would play Star Guardians here, and so would I. And so back to the thing we were talking about, because that's what you're going to play, you want to make items towards what you're going to play, right? So I guess you'd be making Jinx items here, I guess, which means that
Now this game, obviously, I don't go Star Guardian because that would just be from our chats now what I should have played, really, what the better decision was. This game, I just didn't have that specific train of thought that you just taught me to just play one of the better comms from my position.
So it looks like you didn't decide to fast 9 in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So you did want to play Yasuo here.
I felt like I just had to be stronger here, and rolled a bit sooner to see if I can just capitalize on that and just eventually be able to just replace the Yasuo with just some 5 costs. As I said, I think from this point onwards, I kind of just lost track of what I really wanted to do, and then just kind of autopiloted into just kind of playing just really poorly.
I'll give you, well, what do you mean by really poorly? What was really poor about this?
Like I feel like decision to roll on 4-1 was also just not really the greatest. I should have just waited till I could pick my augments, but I felt like I just wanted to roll before anyone else, hoping to just spike a bit harder. So I definitely should have just waited till I could pick my augment and then make my decision from there. And I think after this point, I just started to kind of feel like I would still want to play the 5 cost units and build some items for it, but never really actually get there properly. And eventually I just bleed out and bought 4.
Yeah, so here I don't think the mistake is deciding to roll before the augment. I think the mistake is not understanding at a fundamental level, based on the strategy you have in your head, when are you allowed to roll. So from this situation, I look at it and I think if you roll on level 7, you 100% have to play Yasuo. That is basically true like 80 plus, maybe 90, 100% of the time. We'll go with 100. Basically, if you roll on level 7, you have to play for Yasuo, okay? So that's fine. I think rolling here for Yasuo is okay. Alright? But your idea cannot be after I'm gonna fast 9. You're no longer fast. And you're not going 9. Okay? So, was your plan when you rolled to go fast 9?
I don't really remember anymore. I think my initial idea was probably, all right, let's just see how it goes. If I just keep winning, eventually I'll just...
No, but you're rolling here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. The moment you roll, you can no longer fast 9. And the reason why is because, well, how does the fast 9 strategy work?
It doesn't. It can't from that spot. Yeah.
Oh, but like, what is the condition when it does work?
Well, for me now, I guess logically is clearly don't roll because then I just have.
No. Not what should you have done here. What is the condition to make a fast 9 composition win?
Well, first condition is clearly hit level 9, have a econ augment. And,
no, it's not having econ augment. That's not what makes it win.
I guess you have to fill in the gap. I don't have the answer for it.
Sure. You have to upgrade your 5 cost. That's what you need. All right? So upgrade your 5, and then you work backwards from there, right? The thing you need is you need to upgrade your 5 cost, right? To get there, there's some different ways you can get there, right? But in general, you will need good gold, pretty much, right? In general, you need a lot of gold to be able to get there. And you need to be rolling almost like the majority of your gold on level 9, otherwise you won't 2-star your 5 cost. It just won't happen, right? Like you know how hard it is. Like it's not easy to upgrade your 4 cost at 8, right? You're half as likely to upgrade your 5 cost at, okay, not half. Because there's less 5 cost, but you're still not super likely to upgrade your 5 costs on 9 in a small amount of gold. You need a lot of gold to be able to do it. Make sense?
It does, yes.
Cool. So if you spend any substantial amount of gold before level 9, you will not reach that condition and you will instantly lose. Make sense? All right. This is fine. So here we've run into another small issue, which is we have 3 items on our bench. There's a few ways we can rectify it. How would you try to rectify that here?
Just hope for just a good Pandora's change and then just build those items.
What do you want?
At this point, my thought here would probably be once I level up just to have items for whichever 5 cost carry I would get, because I think I still do play to. I think I get a 3-star Yasuo and Swain still here, but as I said, I kind of just went on an autopilot, so I guess my decision making just wasn't very good. I just built some items to build items, I guess, leave them on my bench too long, and then
okay, so
just kind of turned to shit.
That's good. So what I'm hearing is you weren't thinking about what you want to do with your items, right? Basically. Okay, so here's how you should be thinking about it. The way you should be thinking about it is both. So the first rule is you want to be making items as soon as you can, right? There's no like I'm gonna wait a whole stage and a half to make items. No, you gotta make your items right now. All right. The reason why, less average components on bench, lower, better LP. Yeah, higher LP. Those things are as causal as they get in this game. Okay. So you need to make items right now and very soon. How do we make useful items? That's the next question. How do we make useful items? Do you know how we would make useful items here? If I forced you to make items here and have them be the most useful.
I would most likely just make a Sterax and just dump it on the Poppy.
It doesn't have to be of your components right now. But like it has to. You have to have an idea of what you would want to do because you have Pandoras, right? So what do you want to do? Any 2 components you have here, what would you look for?
I could look for a sword to maybe make a Shojin.
Shojin on who? Right now, remember, we need to make the item now and have it be useful.
Oh, for now, nothing. I'll just make a stone play and just put it on one of the tanks.
Which tank?
Most likely I would have just put it on the Shen.
Why is that the best tank to put it
Just feel like he's just a bit more useful than the others, and with his shield, he'll just live a bit longer, and just hopefully make Yasuo just do enough damage to live.
Did you consider Swain?
For... Could have, yes, I could have removed the Evan Shroud and just put the stone plate on Swain as well.
Do you think that would be better?
Definitely.
Okay, cool. Once you get to that, all right. Cool.
I'm not sure if I even do, but because I'm not sure if I keep the Evan Shroud on him, but yeah, that decision now would have been much better.
Yeah, the reason. Do you know the reason why that's better? I assume because you got to it. You know the reason, right?
So he's clearly the strongest tank out of the other bastions.
Yeah, and why?
He has 2 items.
He has 2 items.
3. Well, 3. If we take the Evan Shroud off, then we have 2.
Yeah, the idea is like if you get in a spot like this where you're 3 item, right? The next most useful item this is true of like any situation where you're 3 item, but one of the carriers is holding a utility item. In this situation, you try to remove the utility item, put it on someone else, and you put a real item on the actual carry or the actual tank. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%.
Cool. So that's the idea here. If ever you see this kind of setup and you have a utility item on either, always think, can I like get a real item on it and move the utility item off?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you make Sterax Poppy, okay. That's okay at least. The Gwen should be on the board. Basically, whatever the benefit, it's kind of close, but I still think, like, basically, if you have multiple items on a unit and the unit's not on the board, it's probably worth breaking a trait to put the unit on the board.
Okay.
Even if it's 6 bashing here, I think. I mean, it's like really close, but. Why didn't you roll here?
I guess at the time I just thought like if hopefully I just win the fight and I can just roll after, but the afterthought was like, well, I can't take the gold into the next game, so I should have just rolled the gold, hoping to hit the Swain 3.
Yeah. If you have 8 copies, you just roll 0 every turn. Like 8 copies, just roll every turn.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I think sometimes my decision making on when do I just decide to just go to 0, when do I roll properly is just not very consistent. That's just what I have to improve on to just make sure to roll when I have to at certain times in the game.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have a Star Guardian game in here or no?
I do actually. I think the
third.
I think the last video.
I clicked the same game twice, or you just love Yasuo? This is the same game twice. Oops.
I think you clicked the same game twice. Yeah, hang on.
No, I got it. Oh,
yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Is it?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, mostly.
This game looks pretty good.
Yeah, this was a decent game, and eventually I didn't win, obviously. So I think this one was something I really wanted to see what I could improve on. It's like, hey, how could I have just done things better here to win? Because this one had a bit more of a clear path of what I wanted to play, and it just worked out much better than well, the previous game that we watched.
Yeah. Basically, if your worth the weight unit is not a carry,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, if your worth the weight unit is not a melee carry, then you should probably just sell it, I think. So, like, if it's a tank, you sell it. If it's a backline damage unit, you probably still also sell it, I think. Like, I would be selling Kale. The reason why is because if your spot is good, right, and you can get to 9, it's like, you're trading off over 20 gold on level 9 to have a 4-star rel, and the 4-star rel is not that strong. It's for sure weaker than having one extra 2-star 5 cost, which is probably what this would become.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense. I never really thought about it that way.
So you roll on 9 here. Which rounds do you lose? You lose all of stage 5. Sure. Move the items to Jinx, which is good.
Yeah, because I think at this point my HP was pretty low.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
And initially I kept the items on the Zaya 2 over the Jinx one. I'm not sure if that's the right decision.
No, it's not.
Okay.
You also need the Jinx on the board here. Okay, so here's what you needed to do. Basically, I don't even know how you're winning until here, but you 9 streak into here. Okay, A, you can't hold the rels. B, you should not even be fast 9ing. Like, okay, you can't fast 9 here. You need a roll for your upgraded board. That's it. You should roll for your upgraded board, especially because you have little buddies. You just gotta roll on 8 and hit your board. That's it. It's a level 8 comp, right? You're playing on 4 costs, right? So you just hit your stuff on level 8 and then you're good. Don't fast 9 these spots. I know you were streaking. It don't matter. Just roll on level 8. And then hit your board first. Make sense?
Yeah, so basically in a spot like that, it's just keep rolling until you hit, and from that point, when you've hit your 2 stars, then just chill and
yeah. Have you seen any pro boards
back up.
On what they look like on stage 4?
Often just the main costs are just leveled up, and there's not many 1-cost or 1-star units on the board.
Yeah, and what are the units that are upgraded and holding items usually in this spot?
The carries, or just, well, basically just their main tank often, and then just their main carry.
Just their main, like also their main carry, right? Not just their main carry. All right, so we take
yes.
Yeah, we take a look at the board I had. My board on 4-2 is, I know I have some econ, but that was a deliberate choice. I have 2-star Karma, 2-star Jarvan, a Gwen, and like almost everything else upgraded. All right. This is what you want. Like, this is what you want to get to. I know I'm in Challenger, right? But if you even if you're in Platinum, you want to, or like whatever rank you are, you want to have this board, because if you have this board, you win every round, right? Or if you have 2-star Jinx, 2-star whatever, 2-star Poppy, you'll also win every round.
In a much better position, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like your placement will just be better than than what you had.
And
here.
I think I made the in this position as well. I thought, well, I have a 3-star rel. I'll just keep that as a main tank over the Poppy for now, because the Poppy was just a 1-star, and initially I thought, well, it'll be a 4-star, because I didn't think about the actually selling it, because it's just a tank.
Basically, if you don't know, just sell it. Just always sell it. It's fine. This one you just always sell. But yeah, cool. Like this board, stage 5, not acceptable. It is not acceptable board. It's way too. It's way too weak.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were to try to fast 9 here, and the only way you need to be able to, when you go 9, you have to be able to make your board better, right?
Yeah.
But you can't do that because you don't have enough gold when you go 9. Like I think you go 9, you start pumping, which is really bad. You go 9 on 5/5 because you have HP. You get to 9, you roll like 20 gold and you die.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I think indeed the decision to do so is purely because I had such a big win streak. Like I was on a 9 streak, and instead for comps like this, I should just say fuck it. I have the resources. I roll on 8 and just stabilize there and see from there, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. All right. So what you gotta work on is making sure you're rolling when you're supposed to. Like the way, like you should basically make more econ and roll more aggressively. On 4-2, I think. Is like what you should be looking to do. I think that applies to like most of the games. Just like be willing to sell stuff. Especially if you're not full win streaking, you should just like be willing to sell stuff to make your econ thresholds. Because there are like spots where you're like crazy close to making econ thresholds and you're not doing it, and you should. Make sense? So like
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So and if your spot is weak, don't be selling as much. All right. Do you have any final questions for me on what you can do to best improve?
One thing that I struggle with often is, especially just the early game with the creep rounds, when I often just say, hey, I think I want to play this, or I could play this just with some of the units I get, or just simply I make a mental note like, I'd like to play this game, which I think is initially not the greatest decision, because if the game doesn't give it to me, I can't play it. But if I just get some unfavorable items, I guess, for what I initially want to play, is it just a mindset thing I have to get rid of and just slam whatever decent items I get? Or like, how do I make that decision? Let's say that I get two cloaks, so like I get a claw or something. Like I typically don't really play it unless there's just a heavy AP lobby. I feel like I kind
Sorry,
of just blank.
if you get a declaw, what do you pivot off of?
No, just in general in the beginning, let I get some weird items from the creep round, just stage 1 to stage 2. Like I sometimes feel like I have a comp in mind that I want to play, but the items that drop aren't really favorable for that comp. What would I then do? I think that's where I
Can you give me
struggle
an example?
sometimes. Um,
Or do you have an example here in one of these or no?
no, I don't. I don't think I have an example in one of these.
All right. So the answer is the answer is you should just force the items into the comp. Okay, the answer is you should just force the items into the comp you're playing. Because the really bad spots are when you get 2 of a component that you can't use at all for your offensive items. But if you get 2 of them in the same round, you can reforge it, right? So you just reforge 1 or both. Probably just 1. And then you just make the rest fit. Like almost every comp can use a component, right? It might be suboptimal. Like you might make an item you don't want to make very much, right? But like you just make the item. Like I don't love like I don't know. Like even Nashers on AD units, it's fine if you have IE. Like I can't even think of a great example because the items are pretty balanced right now. Like I don't know. Like which component is unplayable? I don't know. Okay, let's do an example setup, right? Like if you want to play, I'll give Sorks as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have Mech. Yeah, let's say you're on some. This board is like pretty good, and there's like a pretty good normal board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Lux is fine. Okay, and then you have like you have JG slammed, right? You have. I'll do a harder. Okay, no, JG is pretty normal. You have JG slammed, and you have blue buff slammed. So you really want to play sorcerers, right?
Mm-hmm.
can you give me like 3 or 4 components that would you think would be really bad? That would like derail your plan? I literally can't think of any.
But the component itself, I guess not. But I think it's just like, what do I do? Do I just decide, fuck it, I just hold items on the bench?
No, you just make some
Say that.
optimal items. That's fine.
Okay.
Like
I think that
like
that's just
it looks like you can make Sterax from like Sterax is a fine tank item, right? Extra sword belt, you just make the Sterax. Eon on carry, that's actually really good on a lot of carry. Just make the Edgenite, all right? I don't know, like sword, cloak, belt, yeah, Sterax. If you're willing to make some of like the weaker or like the less optimal items, you can just pigeonhole anything into what your spot is. I think. Like I literally don't think you can name 4 components. Chad, do you have an idea what are 4 terrible components here? I don't know, like sword is pretty bad, right? Like but then you get a reforger, so it's fine, I think. Unless you can reforge into something really unlucky, but on average you should be fine. So like sword, cloak, glove, belt, I guess. Like would you consider that bad? No, because you make
no.
no.
And let's say that I get just a rage blade in this position. Like obviously it's not the
bow, rod,
best item for karma, for example, but obviously the component itself are good.
Yeah, if it's 2 components here, you can chill.
In itself?
If it's 2 components here, you can chill, right? That's okay. Yeah, 2 components you can chill. 3 components you can make something. Sometimes on 3 components you'll have to slam something, or you have to greed. But like 4 components, it's literally impossible to not be able to make an item, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Someone said 3 cloaks. You can't get 3 cloaks on this stage. Cook. You can only get 2.
Yeah.
You can get 3 if you took one off the carousel, but like you shouldn't do that. All right, cool. Any other questions, or is that pretty much it?
No, I think for now that's pretty much it. I think it's a lot to process, and obviously I'll rewatch our session maybe a couple of times just to make sure that I save all the information, because it was just quite a bit. And then
yeah, the rules are
just improving.
Basically, start by never level on 2-1 unless you like are sure your board's really good, right? Which is 2-star unit, item, fruit. If you meet those things, if you can do those 3 things, you're good, right? And then don't sack your HP for no reason. It doesn't matter if you're 90 HP or 20 HP. On 4-2, you're supposed to roll for a good board. If you lose HP for free, you're just losing placements for free. The HP is your placements. You don't want to give away those things for free. And then hold units for free. Yeah, I think that's most of it, pretty much.
Yeah, and
then always make your items
definitely fast. Yeah, and I'll look into, obviously, from that spot, for example, as you said, with the Bastion game, that would have easily been a Star Guardian game. Just recognizing those spots and just think, okay, as you said, what are the best 5 comps for now? Can I play one of these from this spot? I can, not contested, or maybe even if, just depends on what they're looking like. So go for that instead. Instead of forcing something from before. Cool.
All right.
No, I think that was good. As I said, I'll rewatch it a couple of times, and then let's see how well it reflects in my gameplay moving forward.
Cool. All right, sounds good to me. Best of luck on the convergence, and yeah, let me know how it goes. All right.
Yes, thank you, brother. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, no problem. Catch you later.
Okay, bye-bye.